The imagination is a powerful tool. It's something that I've been studying and practicing a lot over the past couple of months because I understood this concept from this guy called Neville Goddard. If you have never heard of him, highly recommend checking out his books. All of them are on YouTube. I can link a channel down in the description down below because if you just search his name, he'll come up, and then he goes into a whole different style of using the imagination to control said destiny. That's what Todo did in one of the most recent episodes of JJK. He ended up using the imagination for him to defeat Patchface, for him to look at Patchface and beat him up and do all these crazy things, and he even had to like lose his arm in the process. Like he chopped it off, which made him not be able to use his power. Yet Toto's creative, so he slapped Patchface's hand and he was still able to do the swap and allow each story to use Black Flash at the very end. Which is, it's really cool to see how this works, because like if you're able to see it within your mind's eye, and I've talked about this I think on a couple of other videos as well too, and maybe I shouldn't say I've talked about this on a couple of other videos. I wanted to say that like when you can see it within your mind's eye, then it starts to become real. So like I'll give you guys an example, little story. So I was at this party last night. It was a birthday party for a friend of a friend, I guess, girlfriend, whatever. Not entirely sure about that, but I was at this party the other night, and I am sure about that. I was at a party last night and we were playing beer pong, and I was telling her, I was like, all right, you shoot, I'll bounce, and we'll do that. And I'm like, watch, your sister's gonna slap it away. And I was like, just watch this play out. And I saw it in my imagination. I saw it playing out. Okay. And as I see it playing out within my mind, it's like, all right, cool. I tell her about it. She completely forgets about the plan. I kind of forgot about it as well too. I just remembered making the statement and then having that statement come true. So I throw she does her normal shot. Like I throw the ball, like I didn't bounce or anything like that. And her sister just swats it away, and she's like, you said that was going to happen. I was like, yeah, I told you it would. And this happens time and time again because I see it in my imagination. It happened a couple of weeks back as well too, when we were at filming some IRL videos that I do for one of my second channels, which if you guys want to see that, just let me know and I'll do my best to share that with you. We're filming some videos. I haven't posted these quite yet, but we were filming some videos, and I told them, like my videographer that was with me and his friend, when we were on the way out to the campus, to the college campus, I brought up this idea to him. I was like, hey man, so because before us going out there, I was sitting and I was meditating and I was visualizing like how the day was going to play out within my head. And I was like, I don't necessarily want to be talking to as many people about said topic because I just wanted to have a conversation in general around some topic or whatever it may have been. So what I ended up doing was I looked within my mind's eye and I saw this whole scenario play out, and I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll run into somebody that we will just go to their house and we'll just have a conversation with them and we'll chat with them for a little bit. I originally had seen like a wealthier home, like someone that was making like 6 figures or something like that. It's like, hey, come over to my place. But it didn't need to be that. So instead, we ended up going to the college campus and we're chatting, we're having a good time. Like we're just enjoying ourselves. And I run into this dude and he's pushing a baby up the college campus. It's like, dude, is that a baby? He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, that's impressive. Like, you're taking a baby to class. And he's like, yeah. I mean, I was actually just going to go have some lunch over with some friends of mine. And it was the video that I was talking about on, I believe, day 17, if I'm remembering correctly, where like I ended up going up on the mesa after having a conversation and being seen for the first time in a long time. And I was chatting with him a little bit later, but this was when I first ran into him, and him and I started talking, and then one of his friends came out from the gym, and him and we started talking and chatting and having a conversation, and he was talking about how his brother was wanting to do like YouTube consulting, as well as was wanting to do all these other cool, crazy things, but he was trying to figure out like if he should pursue the path of God or if he should pursue the path of like meditation, or of YouTube content creation. I was like, yeah, dude, I get that type of thing. Like, it makes complete sense. And we were just chatting with him, and then the guy, he's like, hey, you want to come back to my house? Like, come back to my place where we're at. I'll show you they had like a prayer ceremony thing in the basement of the house, which was super quiet, really peaceful and respectful, and it was really cool to see. And then him and we ended up like shooting, like having a podcast. He tells me about how like him and his girl met, like they just met out of the blue. I got emotional. Like, it was a really joyous occasion to have something like that happen. And it all happened because I saw it within my mind's eye first. And we can do this the more we practice, the more we can visualize, the more we see it and live from said experience within our own mind and just let things take their natural course. It's a much better way of, I'd say, being able to see and quote unquote predict the future. It may not come to you in the exact same way that you see it within your mind's eye. It will come to you in the way that it's supposed to come to you, which that's the great part about being human and having this understanding, which if this is one way that like Neville Goddard, he talks about how it's just like you want to live from the state within. So if say you want to have a certain anime, you guys could even test this with an anime. I would recommend that possibly. Not even possibly, I'd recommend that. Let's say you want to have an anime that you want to watch, that you're like, okay, I'm tired of all these filler episodes. I'm tired of all these episodes that are hundreds of thousands of episodes and there's no fighting scenes. Like it's quick and to the point. And this is something that I did where I just kind of got tired of like all the talking and I'd watch 20 minutes of an episode and nothing exciting would happen. I'd be like, bro, I didn't want that anymore. So instead, I started to see other animes within my mind where it's just like, all right, it's just going to go right into like the fighting scenes. It's going to go right into like the action. There's going to be obviously some chatting, some communication, whatever it may be, but it's going to go right into the action. And that's what I started to do. And now we have Jujutsu Kaisen, we have Demon Slayer, we have all these other animes that are within our reality because I had the thought of it first. And there's probably a couple of other people that have had the thought themselves as well too. It was just, that was something that I myself wanted to see. And that's why there's strategies and tactics that you can use to help yourself live within the state. Like within Todo, like how once his necklace dropped, like he went into this whole imagination state, and that's what he was seeing within his own head because that's how he views the world. And that's the great part about having our imagination and being able to step into said state within our own mind. And it can happen with breaking conditioning because right now you might think like, my life's garbage, it's trash, whatever it may be. It's just by visualizing and seeing it within your mind's eye, everything is possible. Because I can tie this up with one more final story and then we'll wrap the video up. So back when I was doing sales for this big company out in New Hampshire, what I ended up doing was we started a competition. We started a competition where the sales rep that was able to sell the most in said given month in the given quarter, which a quarter is 3 months if you aren't already aware. I have a feeling you are if you're watching my channel and these videos. I know that you're already aware of that. So we had this challenge, and this was when I first started to get into like understanding the imagination and viewing it from like already having it itself, which that's what I did. So like I just thought about it. Like I was sitting back, I closed my eyes. I was a little bit in like a relaxed meditative state. It was something that I think Ben Franklin or I think it was Einstein. No, not Einstein. Why can't I think of his name right now? One of the other characters, one of the other famous Thomas Edison, I believe he did it. He'd like hold an apple in his hand and like he'd rest and he'd like sleep and he'd allow himself to like go into his subconscious mind by imagining like super like whatever he wanted to have happen, and he would hold the apple or an object in his hand so that when he like was about to drift off to sleep, like that apple would fall onto the ground and then it would wake him back up. So like he was almost going into like the unconscious, but he was still like remaining conscious. It's a fascinating concept that I myself have tested. And that's what I did when I was wanting to win the competition for the person that was able to sell the most in said given quarter. So there was this like workout belt that we could have got, and I was just sitting there and I was like sitting back and I was like, I felt it on my chest, like I felt it like weighing on myself. I imagined myself as if already having it done. And that's all I did. And I just saw it once. And once I saw it once, I was like, okay. And I just left it at that. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't do anything else afterwards. I just let it be. And I just let things take their natural course. And then over those next 3 months, like money started coming in. Like everybody was saying yes to me on the deals. Like I was getting other people with like really large deals that I'd been working for the past year or 6 months, or even just brand new leads too that I was calling. They ended up coming and bringing them into my reality, bringing them to me. And I was just like, yeah, we'll sign up. And like that was the first month that I made $10K. Like I made $10,000 and like $10,362 or something like that. that first month that I did it. The next month it was like $8,000, and then the month after that it was another $10,000. And it was just people. Like, I wasn't doing anything different. I was just making my phone calls. I was having the conversations as I typically would. And that was the point when I was like, okay, if I can see this within my imagination, then I can make it a reality. And it's something that I value more than anything else, because then when I finally did like get the belt, like it wasn't even the belt that like I had won, it was the upper belt, like it was the other people's belt, because that was the belt that I wanted to see and I wanted to have. And then like it was put on my table like in front of me, and I was like, okay, see, I did get this belt. And that was really fascinating, because once I saw that this concept, this theory, this idea works, and if you guys don't believe me that your imagination is this powerful where you can see it within your mind first and then you can see it in the outside, I'd highly recommend testing it, trying it out, seeing what works. Because I had a guy in the comments on video on, I think it was the 16th or something like that, might have been the 15th, and if you're watching this right now, I appreciate your comment. I really do, that you had an understanding of Neville Goddard and his concepts, because it's a really fascinating, I'd say his work is it's incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. And I wanted to say thank you for commenting on the video. Anybody that has been commenting on the videos like lately, I really do appreciate it. It makes me happy seeing that other people are enjoying my work and my conversations that I'm doing right now. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I truly do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can just test out the theory, if you can just test out what it, like, looking within your mind, start small. I first started out by, like, seeing $100 within my mind. I started looking by testing out, like, okay, let me just try to see if I can find $100. And then I'd go on walks and I'd look around, kind of look around in a sense. Like, I'd just walk out type of thing. And I got 300 or 400, like, different $100 opportunities. One of them was like a fake bill, like not a fake bill, but like a play money bill. One of them was a note from a girl that like just skimmed my card just a little bit. She's like, hey, here's $100. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And there's another one too. Can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I remember those two very clearly. And that was all because I saw it within my imagination first. So if you're wanting to have something happen, if you're wanting to defeat Patchface, if you're wanting to create a new reality, if you're wanting to change your worldview, it all starts within the imagination. The more you imagine, the stronger you're going to become. The stronger you become, the more capable you can be to help other people around you. And there's probably aspects of you right now that if you made it to the end of this video, you do understand what I'm talking about right now. There's other aspects that it's just more of planting a seed, because that's what this channel is about. That's what I do just in my everyday life, is I just plant seeds, because I think it's fascinating to just share these ideas and these concepts with other people and personal experiences that I myself have had. And that's why I do it within like the anime community niche, or like just the movie niche, the TV niche, because it's just things that I genuinely enjoy. And who knows, with time, like this is just something that I like talking about. And then with time, like it'll probably be on the main channel as well too, where it is my face, I'm talking, and it's just going to be an overall story. So yeah, I think that's about it for right now. Oh, I'll leave you guys with this. If you want to try and understand how to see things within your mind's eye, there's this cool meditation. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's a gazing type of meditation. So if you have a candle or some sort of flame, I'd recommend a candle. Find a candle. You could do it with an incense as well too, I suppose. So but I'll do it with the candle because that's just typically how I end up doing it. So I have like a little candle, like a $2 candle or whatever it may be, just like those cheap small little ones. Light it on fire, put it maybe like 4 or 5 feet in front of me. I look at the candle, like the base of the candle, move my eyes up to like just where the wick starts, stare at that for maybe like 30 seconds or so, and then start staring at like the peak of the flame, and just stare. Do your best not to blink. I know it may be difficult. I just stared at myself a lot in the mirror without blinking, so I'm pretty good at not blinking. So like stare at the top of the candle, look at the top of the candle, and just stare at it. Stare at it for like 3 to 5 minutes or so. As you just stare at it, look at it, don't get distraction, just focus on said candle. After the 3 to 5 minutes have passed, you want to close your eyes, and if you should be able to, most likely, not even should, you will be able to see the candle and the flame like within your mind's eye. So like it's almost as if it's being seen within your eyes compared to being outside of your eyes. And it's a really cool concept that you can test. You can try it with other things as well too. Like I've done it with windows or like certain tables and objects, which that's something that I would recommend. You could always try doing that as well too. And you'll start to see that like, okay, you can build up your imagination, you can build up your mind's eye, and you can start to see the things that you want to see, all because it started within.